So knee pain is such a common thing that we see with people, and it affects people that are athletes, that were athletes, that weren't athletes, people who haven't been active, people who have been active. It affects people of all ages, and really one of the solutions will touch all populations, all ages, is to help the hip be looser and loosen up, because people sit so much and their hips get tight. So the front of the hip gets tight, the back of the hip gets weak and loose. The knee is left without support, and it's left with being forced into positions that aren't ideal for the knee. So when we loosen up the hip with three-dimensional dynamic movement, it relieves the tension and stress on the knee. So, and the same goes for the foot. When we help the foot be a better foot, loosen it up, make it more malleable, when we make the foot a better shock absorber, then the knee has an easier life as well. The knee is caught between the hip and the foot, and we call the knee a dummy joint, meaning it has to do what the hip and the foot tell it to do. It has no other choice. So if the foot's tight and stiff and it can't do proper range of motion, and if the hip is stiff and tight and it can't do proper range of motion, the knee is relegated to be taking up that range of motion that those two other joints can't do. And it gets beat up and it gets worn down, and it has extra stress, tension, and friction that wear it down. And from people experiencing stress and tension in the knee, and just the resistance of the hip and the ankle, they don't walk, which also can help the knee. So, and walking is actually a double-edged sword, because if you're walking on a tight foot and a tight hip, you're walking on a foot that's not shock absorbing, so shock is reverberating up to the knee, and then you're walking on a hip that's tight, so the knee's not getting release of stress. Then walking becomes a wear on the knee, when walking should be proper management and proper care. So just simple stuff will take basic movement that all humans do, walking, and take it from being a positive management maintenance thing and make it a wear and tear problem.
Right.
So pretty simple stuff. So we can take the body, and by supporting it in the way it's supposed to move and function, we get to support proper overall function of the whole body. It's movement is what manages and maintains the system. But if we're not taking care of the parts properly, movement wears down the system prematurely.